Coming up, widespread warning. Virginia health officials urging people to avoid the Potomac River after that massive sewage spill. We'll tell you how far the warning goes downstream. Keeping schools safe. What tools lawmakers and parents of gun violence victims have and want teachers to include in their classrooms when responding to a crisis. Officer saves a baby. New video shows a cop preventing a child from choking to death. Just how long before this unfolded that the officer received training for CPR? Baby named the National Zoo settling on what to call a 2-week-old elephant. What she's going to be called to many visitors and what her name really means.
And our weather has changed dramatically over the last week and a half as we now are looking at above normal temperatures instead of well below normal readings. We'll talk about that coming up with the full 7-day forecast.
Plus, money-saving tips. We're going to tell you what purchases you might want to avoid after new inflation data came in. Plus, how long it's going to be before those tax refund checks hit your mailbox or your bank account.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good Saturday evening. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 9 o'clock. I'm Ben Dennis. You made it through the weekend, and of course, happy Valentine's Day. Meteorologist Scott Sumner is standing by. He had just said, whoa, what a day it was compared to the last 3 weeks. Scott, I am ready for this cold to be in the history books. Really.
Yeah, absolutely. And the graphic behind me, I posted last week, and it's worth noting again because it does have a little tie-in here. You know, we're seeing longer days as we move forward in time. We're adding minutes per day or a minute per day. And so our days are obviously getting a little bit longer, and that will happen once we switch from daylight saving time over towards the standard time coming up here in a couple of weeks. But needless to say, this warmth translates to warm temperatures too. Longer days, more sunshine. And yes, we got up to 57 degrees today, well above, 9 degrees above the average high. Now, the morning low was quite chilly at 26. The average low should be at the freezing mark here. Now, granted, we didn't hit the record high of 73 set back in 1990, but who cares, right? 57 degrees. I see a lot of snow piles starting to melt. The only ones that are really holding together are those massive snow piles. And right now, we're seeing overcast skies with a temperature of 40 degrees. We have some rain in the forecast for your Sunday, as you can see, with rain totals here showing anywhere from about 1/3 of an inch upwards to nearly an inch, if not an inch of rain. So that's welcome across the region. I just made a social media post to my Twitter account that stated that and why the rain is so important. Check that out. Of course, tomorrow's forecast, mainly rain. There could be a little snow mixed in at the very end, but mainly a rain event as temperatures there are in the 40s. Ben, back to you.
All right, Scott. Thank you. Turning now to one of your top stories, the massive sewage spill into the Potomac River that started last month very well may be the largest wastewater spill in U.S. history. Well, now there's a brand new health advisory affecting people downriver. Our Dave Laval is reporting what you need to know before headed to the riverbanks.
The health advisory covers a 72-mile stretch of the Potomac River from the 495 bridge all the way down to the Nice Memorial Bridge in King George County.
Very frustrating, I would say.
Alexandria's John Lauer is not complaining about Saturday's weather. It's the view along the river that concerns him.
You can look out right here. There's nobody enjoying the water. No kayakers. There's no boaters. The high school can't row.
The Virginia Health Department advises people to stay out of the water if they use the Potomac for recreational purposes. The advisory follows that massive sewage spill into the river January 19th and subsequent reports of another discharge February 7th. The water can cause potentially serious health problems to those exposed to it. Alexandria's Morel Anderson is not taking chances.
I'm a nurse, so public health always first. You don't want to get some nasty infection that's really hard to get rid of if you can just stay out of the water and have a little patience.
The health department offers several tips, including promptly wash skin with soap and water if you cannot avoid contact with the river. Rinse or wash items, including clothes, that also come into contact with the water, and seek medical care if you don't feel well after being around it.
That much sewage coming into the water, I can't imagine exposing myself or my family, and I don't want to hear about anybody else, just purposely exposing themselves.
It's expected to take up to 6 weeks to repair the sewage system. The health department says there are so far no issues with drinking water. In Alexandria, Virginia, Dave Laval, DC News Now.
So it stays that way. Dave, thank you. New tonight, a supervisor for the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Administration, is accused of accepting bribes to expedite visas for U.S. visitors. 47-year-old Melitón Cordero, who is a supervisory special agent, was arrested in D.C. on Thursday. He's charged in connection to an alleged bribery visa fraud scheme. The D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office says Cordero was assigned to the American Embassy in the Dominican Republic for 6 years and accepted thousands of dollars in exchange for helping foreigners get those non-immigrant visas. Prosecutors say that he expedited at least 119 visa applications. At least one was allegedly fraudulent. New tonight, an apartment fire in Northeast D.C. left 15 people without a home. This was the scene right before 5 o'clock tonight on Eastern Avenue, not far from Robert Gray Elementary. Officials tell us a woman was sent to the hospital. Good news, she's expected to be okay. A cat was also rescued. The flames started on the 3rd floor, but the cause is unknown. It was an emotional day in court yesterday. The au pair at the center of the double murder trial in Fairfax County will spend a decade behind bars. A judge tossing out a time served recommendation after Juliana Perez Magalhaes cooperated with police in a plea deal in exchange for her testimony of former lover Brandon Banfield. It's that testimony that helped convict Brandon, whose sentencing is set for May. The family of the man killed in this case, Joseph Ryan, confronted Juliana with some final words. Take a listen.
So many sleepless nights, so many nightmares of his brutal murder, so many screams and guttural cries into my pillow, feeling the loss of my son.
Telling the truth doesn't absolve her of responsibility.
While 10 years is the maximum sentence that Juliana could receive, her defense attorney told us that she may ultimately spend 4.5 more years in prison between credit for time served and Virginia good behavior laws. As we take a look at the U.S. Capitol, lawmakers are continuing a back and forth over school safety legislation. Tonight marks 8 years since a gunman killed 17 people at Florida's Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. The victims' parents have tirelessly advocated for change, and they're backing bills to establish an emergency response system within schools, as well as to create a national program for violence prevention. They also want to see mandatory silent alarms that will give teachers the ability to notify police and start a school lockdown. Each proposal has bipartisan support. Speaking of legislation in Maryland, well, some are hoping to help families with missing loved ones. Prince George's County leaders say that educating the public on what to do immediately can be key. The proposal is named for Dakar Thompson. She disappeared last August, but then the 19-year-old was later found murdered. Lawmakers want to make it a point to tell everybody that there is no waiting period to report a missing person.
We were very proactive on, the search of our loved one. For not just us, but for someone else who may not have as much support, it could be a tremendous help for them.
The bill also aims to start a local campaign focused on missing Black women and girls. Council members say that they are planning to fast-track passage of this proposed law, with a final vote expected as soon as next month. DC News Now is your local election headquarters, and in Virginia, the latest ruling from a federal judge could soon help restore voting rights for many people convicted of felonies. Right now, the Commonwealth's Constitution strips them of voting rights, but this new ruling found that violates federal law. So starting May the 1st, some estimated 260,000 people in Virginia with a felony conviction could see their right to vote restored.
This is a historic ruling. I mean, it strikes down one of the vestiges of Jim Crow. Just as people who are incarcerated remain, they still have the right to marry, to write letters to the government, and other kinds of First Amendment rights that you don't leave your citizenship entirely at the gates. That would apply to voting too.
We reached out to Attorney General Jay Jones to ask what comes next, but we've not yet heard back. Metro is celebrating a milestone, a big win. They just hit 10 million times people use their brand new tap and ride system. This is quite a change from the old way to pay. The new payment process lets riders use a credit card instead of buying and loading those plastic Smart Trip cards. WMATA started that program last May on the rails and buses at the end of last year. Time for some baby love. The votes are in. The newest Asian elephant at the National Zoo does have a new name. Meet Linh Mai, which means spirit blossom in Vietnamese. Leading up to this, for $5, people got a chance to vote on the name. And the zoo raised nearly $60,000 for its Asian elephant conservation program. Linh Mai is the first Asian elephant calf born at the zoo in nearly 25 years. Man, she's cute. They are also endangered with fewer than 50,000 left in the wild. You're going to be able to meet Linh Mai this spring. Count me in, I'll be there. Coming up, D.C. Council says the city's revenue is going to take a hit. Recent action taken surrounding the tax code has some families scrambling if they have to file their returns again. Plus, inflation falling, prices keep going up in some cases. We'll look at what prices are starting to come on down and other ticket items you might want to avoid. Take a live look outside. Meteorologist Scott Sumner is certainly recapping what we have felt. A beautiful day today. How it might change when you look out the window tomorrow morning. Coming up.